free?
Well, can you pull back a little bit?
Yeah.
So, can you grab your bag?
Take my bag?
Bag, yeah. I got it.
Mr. Burns already mentioned is the site, and the other is the patronage. The site, as you can tell from where we're standing, is on this slope and is narrow. The slope rises slightly to both the east and west. And in the case of this villa, I think those two factors, the slope of the hill and its narrowness, have formed the particular character of the plan, which is in some ways atypical for Palladio. The way in which it's atypical is the fact that the central part of the villa juts out quite far from the horizontal wings. And there isn't the normal high step, or the usual kind of high step of a temple front, as you see at the Villa Emo at Franzolo. So we'll be able to make that comparison with our next trip. The other factor to which Professor Burns alluded is that the slope of the hill means that the villa is facing south, and Palladio has used this fact to the greatest advantage in allowing light to enter the main body of the villa, not only from the front, but also from the side. If you look at the side elevation, which is a bit awkward for Palladio, but nonetheless it gives two stories of window light exposure. In addition, having the arcade space south allowed the grain to dry. The arcades were used for agricultural purposes. Another aspect of the villa's design, which was influenced by the site, was its division into two floors, which is also rather unusual. This allows a division by having the agricultural functions on the lower level and the main entertainment and living spaces on the second level. In terms of another important factor in the design of the villa was the patronage, because this is a project with which the patrons Marcantonio and Daniele Barbaro played a significant part in collaborating on the design. The Barbaro brothers were from a prominent Venetian family. Daniele Barbaro was the Patriarca di Aquila, which is written on in the frieze. Right, Dan Barbaro abbreviated. And also the ambassador to France, and his brother Marc Antonio was the ambassador in Istanbul. Daniele Barbaro collaborated with Palladio in beginning in 1549 on an edition of Vitruvius, and this collaboration is important or is reflected in the Vitruvian influences in the design. They also took a trip to Rome together, and so it's likely. And so Daniele knew quite a bit about architecture, and it's likely that he had a role in shaping the design. Marc Antonio was an amateur stuccoist, and it's likely that in the pediment that design is at least influenced, or if not completely his own. And he also had, we'll see the another unusual feature of the villa is the nymphaeum we'll see in back, and that too was probably, at least in part, designed by Marc Antonio. The nymphaeum seems to have been an idea taken from the Villa d'Este at Tivoli, which Marc Antonio, or which Daniele and Palladio could have seen in Rome. Then on the interior, we'll see Veronese frescoes, and just two interesting features about those are the way that agricultural activities of the villa are represented, and the way the illusionism interacts with the actual architecture of the interior.
In which Palladio gets you up from under the arcades into the upper level with the stairs on either side, and then the passage going straight through.
Let's go. Okay.